Hi there, just to say this is a short snippet from this week's main episode, which was published on Wednesday as always. If you want the full episode, you can find it just below this one. So you might say, well, okay, I understand, right? With people, we have a very distorted view and we confuse our impressions for that person. Right, I understand that, Ross, but big deal. Well, if you don't understand the depth of that point, I ask you to consider that it's not just with people that you're doing this. It's not just that person you dislike or have a problem with, that family member that you've had arguments with in the past or whatever. It's your entire perception of every single event in your life is dominated by your psychology and by your interpretations. Whether it's work or leisure or your family, things that you have to do, experiences from your past, everything is being filtered through your psychology, and it limits and it shapes how you believe the objective world to be. This happens with individual things in your life, individual situations. So let's say the classic example, say I'm doing a presentation at work tomorrow and I'm feeling nervous about it. Well, your impression, your belief or your opinion about that thing that you're doing tomorrow, the presentation, is a clear reflection of your psychology and how you and your self-image, your beliefs about the world, your beliefs about other people, the beliefs you have about the people you're giving your presentation to. And I want you to realize that this impression you have of the presentation, and apply this to any event in your life, anything, if it's troubling you or if it's the opposite, that is a function of your psychology. It's not because the actual thing is inherently problematic or anxiety producing in and of itself. So if you're giving a presentation at work, you might believe, for example, that you're not competent to do the presentation, so it makes you feel nervous because you think you're going to be exposed. You might think that your colleagues are judgmental. You might think that if you make a mess of the presentation, then you're not going to get a promotion next year, or you're not going to get the pay rise you're looking for. If you don't do the presentation properly, your bosses might think that you've not been doing your work, and then they might sack you or whatever. Whatever it is, whatever the ideas you have about the presentation, they are all within your psychology. And I want you to realize that you're confusing this objective event. It's a presentation. Okay, you're going to stand up in front of however many people and speak to them about something. That is the objective fact of the situation. And what you're doing is you're confusing the subjective impression you have of that event with the actual event itself. And it's not just that. It's not just, it's this innocent confusion. It's actually that your entire perception that it forms your perception of it. You have no perception outside of your psychology. You cannot step outside of your own psychology. Hi there, just to say this is a short snippet from this week's main episode, which was published on Wednesday as always. If you want the full episode, you can find it just below this one.